They know that when they raise taxes, that it destroys the economy. But they want the control. They want to eradicate the middle class. They want to bankrupt the American people with NAFTA and GATT and globalism. It's stated by the Club of Rome. It's stated by the United Nations. And Newt Gingrich, one of the main leaders of the Republican Party, supports global government. He supports global carbon taxes. He supports all of this. And if you think he's going to save you, you got another thing coming. They're going to take over this Republican revolution just like they did in 1994. They're going to have globalist CFR types take it over and run it straight into the ground. And remember, you were told this. 2-3 years from now, when the Depression's even deeper and the Republicans have done nothing but put window dressing on what Obama rammed through, just remember that. And all you Democrats 5-6 years from now who are getting ready to vote a Democrat back into the presidency and get ready to give the House and Senate back to the Democrats. Now, right now, the Democrats have got it. The Republicans are about to get it. You just remember down the road that I told you. You just remember that, because these globalists are on record how they finance both sides, how they control our society. So I'm hopping mad. I'm going to be going over that as well today. And obviously, we're going to talk about all of the sideshows that went on over the weekend. The burning Korans and the Ground Zero Mosque and the protest and the demonstrations and all of it. Over a month ago, I did research, and so did my other in-house researchers, Paul Watson, Steve Watson, Kurt Nemo, Aaron Dykes, and we published article after article after article pointing out that the CIA was funding the Ground Zero Mosque, pointing out that the Trilateral Commission was funding it, pointing out that the CFR was involved, that this imam's a globalist, that the second biggest shareholder in News Corp, that owns Fox, I talked about it last weekend, was funding this stinking diversion. Well, what's the New York Observer reporting today? A well-known, respected conservative publication. Here's the headline, New York Observer, untangling the bizarre CIA links to the Ground Zero Mosque. You know, a week and a half ago, we published the secret FBI document that was leaked to us about how they were worried about violence and worried about reprisals to Christians worldwide. And ABC News finally quoted us and reported on this yesterday. Just like we broke the MIAC and Homeland Security reports, where almost all of the anti-terror training that's going on in this federal government is for conservatives and gun owners and libertarians. So, while they finance radical Muslims to scare Americans to accept naked body scanners in the courthouses and the airports and the public schools and the mobile scanners, and while they sell you on this police state, and you're like, yeah, I'll give my rights up because men in turbans might, you know, come out of my closet at night and rip my head off or come out from under the bed and kill me. Meanwhile, who created the Taliban and Al-Qaeda? CIA, on record. Who put Saddam Hussein into power? CIA. Oh, yes. Who overthrew secular governments in the Middle East over and over again? Like Operation Ajax, 1953, Iran. CIA, on record. And who's funding that mosque? You think this whole thing just got announced coming up on the 9th anniversary? You think these people burning Korans just popped up because they're loonies or they're crazies? No, ladies and gentlemen. This is staged so that they can hype the Muslims up, the radical Muslims, to go out and burn and beat people up, which is now happening in the West Bank and in Indonesia. From far Asia to the Middle East. I've got the news articles here, mainstream news today, beating up Christians, burning buildings down. It's going on all over the place, and people then go, my gosh, those Muslims are scary. We better give our rights up to the government to protect us. Meanwhile, the Homeland Security documents that were leaked to us by a federal marshal and by a state police officer that made national news a year and a half ago, last year, because they're concerned, reports that it's almost all going on for you, returning veterans, gun owners, conservatives, libertarians. So while you're running around getting your knickers all tied up in a knot, worried about Al-Qaeda going to get you, you better remember that these wind-up toy Muslim extremists are being funded and financed and protected. You remember the underwear bombing on Christmas Day? And And the media came out and announced, we are just now decided to put the naked body scanners in. And I showed you mainstream reports from a year before when the feds ordered these hundreds and hundreds of scanners. They were lying. They didn't just make the decision last Christmas. Then a lawyer and another woman who were on the plane contacted us and said, look, we were there and watched a smart-dressed man get him on the plane without a passport. They called those gentlemen liars in the news, and then the head of the State Department came out and said, no, it's true. An unnamed government U.S. agency ordered the State Department to get him on the plane without a passport or visa. And it was confirmed. They took that lunatic nutcase, protected him, and stuck him on the airplane so they can take your rights. Do you understand that? Do you get that? The CIA runs that mosque. This is the truth. You'll get it nowhere else. We'll be right back.